and welcome to the Station Decapitation Without Your Head. I'm Nasty Neil, and I'm joined by Hope Muehlbauer. I hope I said that. I should have asked beforehand. I feel terrible. The second time on, I've interviewed many years ago, director of Jane and the Brain, and we're going to talk about that, which she may have brought the brain with her in the background.
Not here.
And Kristen Skeet, director of Slasher Days of Summer and Agency, and we'll talk about both of these films, and all of them will be playing at Amazing Fantasy Film Fest coming up Friday the 13th, which is a fitting date. I don't think they play on Friday the 13th, but the festival starts on the 13th.
Slasher Days does.
Slasher Days plays on Friday the 13th.
Oh, well, that's a perfect day for
yep.
for Slasher. Yeah. So we'll start with that. Can you give people an idea of what Slasher Days of Summer is?
Yeah, we're kind of marketing it as Friday the 13th and Scary Movie and I Know What You Did Last Summer, kind of a mix-up of those three movies. So it's basically about a group of bumbling camp counselors who are trying to reopen a camp that's got a mysterious and tragic history, and they learn about the history as the movie goes on.
Now, are you a slasher fan?
I've always liked like the mainstream, Friday the 13th and Halloween, but like I'm not a horror fan, I would say. I'm getting there.
The interview's over. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm directing a horror film, and I'm not a real horror fan, but I'm learning. I'm starting to watch more movies, so I'm getting there.
No, well, along those lines, how did you get involved in making horror movies if you weren't necessarily a big horror fan?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I mean, for Slasher Days of Summer, Ty Chaman asked me to come in and help him with the script and then to direct the film. So that's how I got into it with Slasher Days. I really just kind of fell into it.
All right. And Hope, I assume, has always been a horror fan.
Yeah, I'm a horror girl. I grew up watching horror movies because of my parents, and they were very passionate fans. So it only felt right that I started making horror films when I was like 12.
Oh, wow. So when you start making a horror film at 12, like what kind of camera do you use? Using your phone or?
Okay, so when I was 12, it was like 2012. My dad actually got me. My dad actually got me
with me.
T3i, which is a DSLR camera. I didn't know how to set the white balance on it or anything. But that's what we used for it. It doesn't look that great, but I tried to be creative with it.
And like, what do you do to like, do you watch YouTube videos, and when you're 12, like to know what you're doing?
When I was even younger than 12, I used like my parents' camcorder all the time, and I would make like little stop motion videos with my stuffed animals and stuff. So I did stuff like that. And then I also remember like some video that I made where I played like two characters and I would like cut it back and forth. So I kind of knew what editing was. And I kind of just picked up on it by myself. I did watch a lot of behind the scenes, like The Walking Dead stuff, because my first short film was called Zombie Kids. It was a zombie thing. And that's like heavily inspired by The Walking Dead. So yeah, there wasn't really anything I watched about actually like using a camera or sound or anything.
Yeah, not that self-taught though. It's very cool. And it's interesting, for decades, people were influenced by Night of the Living Dead to make zombie stuff. And now, people were inspired by The Walking Dead, which was inspired by Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, that was like prime Walking Dead era, like 2012.
Yeah. So
I only watched Night of the Living Dead like last year. That's how much of a horror fan I have not been. Yes, but I have watched that.
Yeah. Is that fun though to catch up on stuff? Because sometimes I do have people who weren't allowed to watch horror movies or whatever. And it is kind of cool that they're going through everything, later in life.
Yeah. I read a lot when I was little. So I read Stephen King and Dean Koontz from a really young age. So I guess I am a fan of horror, but maybe not horror movies, I guess. I started out with the books. So
that still counts.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. By the way, what's your favorite King novel?
Oof.
Or story?
Probably. That's a hard one. Probably Bag of Bones.
I've not. Later I started reading some reversed. And I listen to audiobooks when I'm walking, and so I was flying through a lot of King stuff in the last 5 years, but I've not listened or read Bag of Bones.
Yeah, it's pretty good, as they all are.
Yeah.
I'm actually a slightly bigger fan of Dean Koontz than Stephen King,
okay.
but I would never tell Stephen King that.
All right, yeah, it's a good thing because he's coming on next. But so what kind of Kristen? What kind of movies like made you want to get into films?
Jurassic Park was the first movie that at least made me sit up and pay attention to movies. You know, I don't think I knew at the time that I wanted specifically to become a filmmaker, but I knew that I loved that world, and I still love that movie. I can quote it probably front to back, but it was Jurassic Park that got me really interested in movies.
And for Hope, was it really The Walking Dead that made you like, this is something I would like to make my own?
That was kind of like the gateway into it. I didn't start taking it seriously until after my zombie phase, but that definitely got me into it.
Terrible Troy is joining us here. Hello, Terrible Troy.
Hello there.
We have some people. Golden Grow Slasher Days will be amazing. Can't wait to see it.
Hey, Golden.
Kristen is an amazing producer. She keeps me in line and stops me from injuring Paul constantly.
That is 100% true. Paul McGinnis has been saved by me at least 3 times, I think, now on the set of Dingus Day.
Does he need saved, though? I mean, I don't know if a little bit of hurting Paul is bad. I mean,
well,
no, we don't want him hurt. I'm just kidding.
When Golden's around, it's necessary. The last incident was, and I won't get into too many details because I don't want to give spoilers, but there was smoldering ceramic that Golden wanted to put out, and he kind of just shoot it in Paul's general direction, and it hit his crotchal region.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
Paul got stung by a bee. Paul got stung by a bee on the set of Slasher Days too, twice.
It was twice, yeah.
Twice at the same spot at the same time.
In the same area?
Yes.
Yeah, on his thumb, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Excuse me. So Hope, you also worked on Slasher Days of Summer.
Yes, I was assistant director. Thank you, Kristen, for letting me do that.
Thank you for doing it. Oh, she was such a help. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Did you? I assume you two met like through the festivals, through Buffalo Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's how we met.
Yeah, Greg Lamberson put me in contact with Kristen and Ty, and it kind of went from there.
Yeah, I saw Hope's movie Lydia's Fall at Buffalo Dreams. Yeah. I don't remember what year it was, but I was really impressed by it. 2022, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was really impressed by that. That was a great film. So that's what put Hope on my radar.
Yeah, we played it at Severed Limbs, our virtual festival.
Yep.
Yeah, I
remember that.
Yeah. So that kind of leads into the importance of festivals, because there's lots. Instead of me answering, what do you both think of? What are the benefits of playing festivals, or even not even just playing, but being at festivals?
I think the networking aspect of festivals is great. I mean, I think everybody I know in the Buffalo film community I've met through festivals, specifically Buffalo Dreams, which is now Amazing Fantasy Fest. So, and it's also a great place to get your movie shown if it's a movie that's not going to be distributed, which a lot of our movies never will be. So at least film festivals get the movie in front of people's eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and shorts, it's probably, going to be the only chance to watch a short film on the big screen with a group of people.
Yeah.
Also, like, from my perspective, going into festivals, like, there's such a wide range of like budgets and skill sets from different people. It's nice to see just people at your level above you. It's just great to see all things that way.
Yeah. So as a viewer, that's cool. And then I would say, like, no matter what level, if you just want to watch movies, that's awesome. But no matter what level you are, like you said, if you're more experienced, if you're less experienced, there's different benefits. If you watch someone's stuff that's more experienced from you, maybe you can learn from that. Yeah, and then there's also something, the creativity of someone who's maybe less experienced.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Greg himself, we have to mention him, or else he'll get mad. But no, he wouldn't. But Greg's a great guy, and that's how I met a lot of people that we have on the show. And I always think he does the best Q&As at festivals I've been to.
Oh, okay.
I agree with that. He does a great job. He makes sure that every filmmaker gets their time in the spotlight. You know, even if it's a micro short film, he'll make sure, 30 seconds, a minute, he'll make sure that they get their time to answer questions.
So, Troy, you might have noticed Hope has a brain behind her.
Oh, yes.
So for people who didn't notice, she has a brain behind her. Jane and the Brain. Can you give people an idea of what? And it's hard to, I guess, sometimes to give too much of what a short's about because you don't want to give it away.
I guess what I can say, it is about a woman who recently lost her husband, and this is what she has left of him. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I was very happy.
All right.
Yeah, I
brain
love
in a jar. You had me there. I'm good.
Yeah, Abby Normal. I was thinking, but it's the Brain's awesome. So where did the Brain come from? Is that someone first infused brain, or did you create it? Or?
It's real.
Yeah, it's fake. It was actually made by someone I met through a mutual friend. We've actually never met in person. But her name is Ashley Felser. She's a really talented special effects artist, and she sculpted and cast this brain. If I get closer, it's very detailed. It's all shaded and everything.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, there's also a brain stem back here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, there should be.
It's so gross when it's out of the jar.
Yeah, we had to bring it out a couple times. But, I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, it's amazing, and that's wild that someone sculpted it for you that you virtually online, but you don't know. I've never actually met them.
Yeah, her mom actually dropped off the brain. My work.
Awesome.
No bag or anything. She just
and why would you have it any other way?
Yeah, exactly.
Did anyone say anything, or do they? Oh, that's the zombie girl.
Some people were unfazed by it, but a lot of my coworkers thought it was cool.
They were like, that's just Hope. That's just Hope.
Yeah.
Now, I assume they made it for you. You told me you were making Jane in the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they didn't make it. Then like, hey, I know, I'll make.
Yeah, I was yapping about it for months before it showed up.
Yeah. So, was there any? Is there any inspiration? Is there an inspiration for the story, Jane in the Brain?
A big inspiration for me was the movie Pearl, which it might be surprising because it's so recent, but that was a big one for me. Stylistically, I'm usually inspired by colorful Italian horror films. Yeah, those were two of my main influences.
Dominic, what are you most excited for people to see when they watch your movies? That's interesting. So I guess not just the idea of them watching the movie, but what's the most exciting part of, I guess, watching your movies?
I think for Slasher Days, it's just it's how high production value that the movie has on what is. I mean, we raised a lot of money for it, and I'm proud of that. But it's still an extremely ultra low budget movie, so I think people will be really excited for just how much production value we managed to shove into this thing on the budget we had.
And you haven't watched it with an audience yet?
Not yet. Nope. Amazing Fantasy Fest will be the first time.
What's that feeling like going in? Obviously, I guess excitement, but also nervous.
Nerves mostly. It's always nerves for me. I get to the point, so nervous. I get to the point where I'm almost blacking out, and then I have to breathe and relax, and then I sweat a little, and then it's okay.
Fair enough.
I call them the anxiety sweats.
Hope, have you seen Summer Days of Slasher Days of Summer, the full version yet?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the full version. I'm purposely waiting to watch it.
Yeah.
In the theater.
Yeah. And for you, the same question. What makes you excited to watch Jane in the Brain?
I think as far as what I want the audience to see, I'm most excited about seeing myself. That's my boyfriend.
Oh.
Who shot Jane in the Brain actually, and Slasher Days of Summer. I'm excited to see all the pieces come together, in the way that the audience can see it as well. I really want to watch it as a viewer and not as a filmmaker.
Mhm.
Another thing, I feel like this is the opposite problem for Slasher Days. I'm nervous that people are gonna laugh at inappropriate times, um, for Jane in the Brain. But for Slasher Days, like, hopefully people laugh at the right times,
Yeah.
with that as well.
And I should also mention, Kristen, you have agency playing, so same kind
Yes.
of question. Watching that with an audience.
I think the story for Agency, which was written by Allison Courtney, it's a really unique story, and the twist at the end is amazing. So it's nice that it's playing at the Amazing Fantasy Fest. I think people will be really surprised and really like the ending of that one.
Yeah, I really loved Agency, and it definitely went a completely different direction. Twice than I thought it was going to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be. I don't want to say what I thought because it's like I said, it's a short film, but I thought it was going to go a certain way, and it really surprised me.
Yeah, when I first read the script, when Allison first sent me the script, that was the same thing. I thought it was going in a completely different direction, and I got to the last couple of pages, and I was like, oh. And the same thing when I read Jane in the Brain script when I got on set that day. Hope's like, here, you can read the end, and I'm reading it. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah. And so, Hope, what are your plans to do with Jane in the Brain? And not to get ahead of ourselves, but after Amazing Fantasy Fest.
I definitely wanted to play multiple festivals. I don't have anything written next, but I feel like Jane in the Brain can be expanded upon a bit more, like a lot more actually. But yeah, nothing
Prequel.
specifically yet. Yeah, maybe
Prequel.
Prequel.
Oh yeah.
So you would like to, like stay in that world?
I think I would. Yeah.
That's interesting. Would you ever do a feature based off of it, or like a prequel?
Absolutely,
sequel,
yeah. I think it could
Okay,
easily be
sweet.
feature. If anybody wants to give me money,
That's always the
let me
issue.
know.
Throw up your Venmo.
Yeah.
And do you travel to other festivals outside
I
of
would like
Buffalo?
to if I get into them.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to ones you're denied at.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, screw that place.
My first film. Oh, go ahead.
You
No, go
can
ahead.
go, Kristen. Okay.
My first film, Murder Creek, was accepted to the New York Long Island Film Festival back in 2019, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, but that would have been really cool.
Oh yeah.
So, Kristen, what are your plans to do with? We'll go one at a time. What's your plan to do with Agency?
Agency, I don't know. I've got to talk to Allison about that some more. I know she wants to get it into more festivals, so we'll submit it to the Valkyrie Film Festival, which is a festival run by Tamar Lamberson and Kaylin Lamberson, which is for female filmmakers only. So, or films that were made by female filmmakers. So we want to get it into that, and then some more festivals, and then go from there, I guess.
Would you want to expand on that and explore that same universe, or do anything more with the story?
I would, absolutely. There's a lot of story left there, prequel and sequel, I think.
In Slasher Days of Summer, for Agency, this is the premiere too at Amazing Fantasy Fest.
Yes.
Or is it
Yep.
Okay.
September 15th. Yep. Plays at 1 o'clock.
Cool.
Yep.
And Slasher Days, what would you like to do with that going forward?
In a perfect world, I'd love to get a distribution deal and do that. I'm not sure if that'll happen, but if that doesn't happen, I'd like to get it out there, on Amazon and, distribute it ourselves, I guess. But we'll see.
Yeah. How about Eugene as the woodsman, Eugene Beaufil? How did he get involved? And I've seen him pop up on some of these other films I was watching.
Yeah. Ty actually brought Eugene in because I believe he saw Eugene in Guns of Eden, Greg Lamberson's Guns of Eden, and approached him about being in Slasher Days of Summer. because Slushy Days of Summer is Ty's story. He created the story, and then I kind of came in afterwards to co-write it. But Ty found him through Guns of Eden, and Eugene's just been fantastic. He's just embraced the slasher killer role and had so much fun with it, and it was so fun to watch.
Yeah, he's really fitting for the movie because he's like big and menacing, but he's also has he can be comedic, so I think it really works in the movie.
It's funny, when we were right up to about a week before we shot, I had spent the whole summer last summer creating these burlap masks that would have covered his entire face except for his eyes and part of his mouth. And he sent me some photos. Like it might have been less than a week before we started shooting, of him at the gym with his eyebrows up and just looking like menacing. And I'm like, we can't cover that face up. We can't do that. That would be a sin to do that. So, last minute we decided to, go around his head and show his face, which was absolutely the right decision. And I'm so glad we did that.
Has he seen the finished movie?
I don't think he's seen the whole thing yet. He's seen parts, but I don't know for sure. Maybe Ty showed it to him. I'm not sure.
Well, that is fun if everyone gets to see it for the first time together.
Oh yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's already almost sold out, and the single show tickets haven't even gone up for sale yet. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so you better make sure you have a ticket, Hope.
I think standing room only.
Yeah.
You and the brain in the back. Gregory says he was my boyfriend.
Regarding Alex.
Yeah. He meant, he was playing with I don't think there's any history with him and Alex, but Golden, Eugene is so fun to work with.
He is. Absolutely.
Yeah. So who was Golden in the movie, or what did they do in the movie? I'm not sure. I assume their name's not Golden Groves. Maybe it is.
No, it is. That's his,
it
that's
is.
his name.
Right. I'm
Groves.
sorry. I stand corrected and I apologize.
That's exactly what I said when I first met. I met him through Paul McGinnis, and Paul mentioned that he wanted me to bring Golden and his partner Mike are the September brothers, and Paul had talked to me about coming in and helping on some of their stuff. And I said, Golden Groves, is that his real name? Because it sounds so much like Golden Globes.
Right.
Is that like his movie name? Is that like his stage name? He's like, no, that's his name. I'm like, well, that's pretty freaking cool. So that is his real name. I forgot the question. I know you asked me a question.
Oh, I just what did Golden do on the movie?
Oh, in Slasher Days, he played one of our lumberjacks. And I won't say any more than that.
Yeah, we don't want to give this away. I'm sorry, Greg. That's Cloris Leachman in Young Frankenstein. The line from earlier. So Hope.
Without the violin, you just don't get it, Neil.
Exactly. Walk this way, but the you have in memory of Michael Litchfield, Hope, in your film. So if you want to talk about him and why you wanted to dedicate the movie to him.
Yeah. My parents actually don't know that I put that in the beginning. But yeah, that's in the beginning of the movie. That was my grandpa who passed away last October on Friday the 13th, actually. So, so that was not the best time. But he was always just really fun and encouraging of me making horror films, and he actually he always offered to make prop weapons and stuff for us. He actually did that.
Oh wow.
I love it. That's awesome.
Fall. And he's definitely responsible for my mom's love for the horror genre as well. And I think he would have really enjoyed Jane the Brain. So that's why I wanted to put that in the beginning.
I love So if you don't know, Troy and I are brothers, and our mom's a big horror fan, and that's why we started to watch horror movies. And so what were you talked about The Walking Dead, but what were some of the first horror movies you watched with your family?
Ooh, I remember my parents told me when I was little, I watched the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow, and I laughed whenever somebody got decapitated.
We fit right in with the Station of Decapitation.
Yep.
Exactly, yeah. And I definitely remember watching the classics, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween. My mom's favorite movie of all time is Return of the Living Dead.
Nice.
So I think I watched that for the first time with her and my grandfather. And I just remember, I think, being the most scared of Texas Chainsaw Massacre because
that's a
I just
genuinely
thought,
scary movie.
I thought
Yeah.
Texas was just scary.
Yeah.
I think it was more about like the setting than the actual characters
Yeah.
to me, but
Oh yeah, just
It-
real
I-
uncomfortable.
I think it
Yeah.
feels like you're not supposed to be watching it. It's
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
someone. It's like a real thing you're watching.
Yeah, and then I saw Suspiria was really important to me because I saw that horror movies could have a lot of style,
Mhm.
and that really got my creative juices flowing with that one. So
Yeah. Did you ever see the remake?
yeah, I liked that one as well.
I like it too. I think it's completely different, and I think that's
Which is what I
if you
think
if you do a remake, I think you should make it different.
exactly. It shouldn't be a copy of the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, then why bother if you're doing that?
Yeah.
So, Kristen, what do your family think of you getting involved in horror films?
My family is really, really supportive of whatever I do. I have a lot of balls up in the air all the time. I'm an author and decided it was 2018. I think we decided to make films, and they're supportive of anything I do. My mom is not a huge horror fan or a fan of horror at all, but she always comes and watches my movies and, supports. And my sister, Steph, and my dad, they're all supportive. I have a great family.
Awesome.
What
And
kind
they
of
let me
movies
read Stephen King and Dean Koontz. So I guess as long as I wasn't watching it on the TV, it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those books are a lot more graphic than movies you watch. We've got Return of the Living Shelley here. You were 2 years old when you watched Sleepy Hollow and laughed.
I don't know what it is with the younger generations. My niece, who's not much younger than you, Hope, when she was like 8. Now I'm terrified of clowns. I hate clowns. I don't want to see them. I saw It. That was probably the first movie that made me sit up and pay attention to horror. Yeah, Stephen King was the original It. So I've been afraid of clowns since then. And then when my niece was like 8, she watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and she laughed.
That movie rocks.
Yeah,
I agree.
8 years old. Look at the clowns. And I'm like, no. I don't want to look at the clowns.
In her defense, that is a pretty fun movie, though.
That
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still clowns, though.
Let's see. Oh, we did that one. Sorry. Stephanie Masternack. Kristen is amazing. Her schedule's crazy these days. I may be biased.
That's my sister.
Okay.
very
good.
And your sister wants to have us ask you about the Blair Witch.
Oh, Lord. The Blair Witch. So Blair Witch is, I love found footage because of the Blair Witch. When I first saw the Blair Witch, I was one of those people who really thought it was real. Like I fell for all the marketing on it, that these were real kids that disappeared in the woods. So it was one of the scariest movies I had ever seen. And I was so excited to show my nieces the film, who were probably 8 and 12 at the time, maybe a little older. I was all ready for them to be terrified of this movie like I was. And they laughed. They laughed and they laughed. They thought it was a comedy. And I'm like, you little brats.
Oh, no.
That's like the
That's
worst
like the
feeling from someone a movie
theme
that you love, and then they just don't take
I mean, they
this
did it with love, but they're like, you really thought this was scary? Like when the girl's snot starts coming down her nose and she's crying. She's like, you actually thought this was scary? Oh, yes,
think
and
a lot-
still do.
I think a lot of Blair Witch is if you're around like when it came out, I think you look at it differently than if you'd watch it today with like no backstory. A lot of it was like the internet build of it, and the internet was big enough that you knew about it, but it wasn't big enough where everyone knew it was an actual movie yet.
Yeah.
And people actually talked about it, this is a real thing. And also it inspired so many things. So we've seen so many found footage after that. But at the time, like, it was really unique. I know you can.
I remember
say,
being
like,
in the theater when, like, it was dead quiet. Like, I can't remember another movie that I've seen recently where it was a packed house and nobody said a word the entire movie. It was wild.
Yes, I just think it's a hard movie to go into now without, without having like the knowledge of how it, came to be.
Yeah,
But I could be
definitely.
wrong. I don't know. Or maybe they would have laughed then too. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it was just
I
funny.
suspect my nieces would have laughed back then too.
Golden Groves. I saw Poltergeist when I was 7 and became a huge horror hound. My 9-year-old daughter tries to love spooky things, but has proven she isn't ready.
Oh,
Sure enough. I was going to ask Hope, what would you suggest for a 9-year-old?
Okay,
But maybe you're not the person to ask. I'm not.
this this is definitely a spooky movie. It's not a horror movie at all. But the live action Scooby-Doo movies from the early 2000s,
oh, they're great.
Aw.
those movies are perfect and they hold up so well. They're so funny. They're funnier as an adult, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that definitely made me like just spooky things in general, not necessarily just horror, but those
I
are
think
fun.
the Fear Street movies are pretty good too. I read the Fear Street.
Yeah.
I read the Fear Street books. I think R.L. Stein wrote those. I read those when I was a kid before I got into Dean Koontz and Stephen King. So those movies are, you know,
Those are
they're not
really
quite
good.
as lighthearted as Scooby Doo, but they're still pretty cool.
Are there any of those books, any of those stories that's never been made into a movie that you would like to see made into a movie, or you yourself would like to make into a movie, Kristen?
Yes, there's a book I read. I'll always remember it. Between 9th and 10th grade, which was like 1994, Hope, just so you know. And it's called Season of Passage by Christopher Pike, and it's about in the future, which was 2002 in the book at the time, a manned space, the first time America goes to Mars, and they're going to try and rescue the Russians who beat us to Mars, but the Mars astronauts never came back. So so the US is going to Mars to save them. And a whole bunch of, there's vampires and there's a whole backstory. And that book was just amazing. And I still read it to this day. And I would love to make that a movie someday. But I can't imagine ever having the budget to do that.
I would like to read this though.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
I think it's a teen, marketed as a teen book because I read it as a teen. I'm not sure. Christopher Pike is more of a teen or young adult writer, but it was good.
We never say never. You never know when, something will come down the pike like that.
Yeah.
This is a question for me. I don't want to answer questions here when I'm guests on, but what horror movies do make Nasty Neil laugh? Actually, Return of the Living Dead, I think is great,
yeah.
very funny. So I'll
great.
put that up there. And that's the one I'd have to think about. But I do like comedy horror movies, and I think the best comedy horror movies, the horror also has to work. So like the horror in Return of the Living Dead is really cool, like all the gore and all the zombie stuff. And American Werewolf in London's the same way. Where
that's the perfect one for humor and horror, I think.
Yeah. So those are two I would say.
That's what Slasher Days of Summer is. It's a horror comedy, but it definitely leans more towards comedy. Mm-hmm. But we also get the good.
Yeah, all the deaths totally work
into it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Had you ever I know you've directed a lot of stuff. Have you ever directed a lot of like gore stuff before? Like
Me? No.
Yeah.
No, this was my first one.
Nice.
It was really my first experience with how you do blood gags, and Hope was a huge help with that.
It was so much fun.
But
it was so much fun.
It was fun. And it surprised me how simple some of the effects can be. A lot of our effects were done with that little tube.
Yeah, I had like a
$1.99 tube. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Filled with blood.
Yeah. So that was I never really knew how, low budget films did that sort of thing. So I learned on the set of this, and it was interesting for sure.
And there's so many different types of blood that is used for different things.
The first time I think Hope shouted, "Where's the mouth blood?" I was like, I don't know what that is, so I don't know where it is.
So, how did you learn all about all the different types of blood, Hope? Was it on other movies or your own research?
This was definitely YouTube's fault.
Yeah.
But I also used to love the show Face Off. That was on Sci-Fi.
Face Off was the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I was obsessed with that show. I still go back and watch it sometimes because it's on Peacock. But I was obsessed with that show. I think if I didn't like lean more into directing, I would have totally gone down the special effects pipeline.
Do you do this effects in your own films?
Yes, I have.
Oh.
Yeah, except for the brain. That's like the only thing I've had somebody else
Yeah.
do. But yeah, I usually do. It's usually not that involved, but I usually just do it myself.
Do you make your own blood? Like, do you have your own recipe for the blood, or is it something you
I
buy?
do if it needs to be like in somebody's mouth.
You make the mouth blood. She
Yeah.
taught me how to make mouth blood.
I'm gonna ask about this mouth blood.
Oh,
And then we also discovered during slasher days that Target has some amazing pre-made blood
Really?
that washes out
I
of
never would have
everything.
guessed that.
Yeah.
Write this down.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
goopy stuff, right?
Yeah,
The
it's like
goopy stuff?
thick and
Yeah, yeah.
fuzzy, and it washes out of all like
Oh,
everyone's clothes, hair.
Yeah.
good to
It
know.
doesn't stain. It's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had
Would've
one
thought
actress
that.
who was covered in this stuff after her scene. I mean, I don't think there wasn't much on her that didn't have blood. And for the next day she was there, she had to use that same outfit and it all washed off. You never
Yeah.
would have known
Wow.
that. Yeah.
So,
Which we really should have thought about more.
what's that, sorry?
Having to wear that outfit.
Yeah. Probably should have got 2 of those outfits.
Yeah. But luckily it worked out.
Golden Groves. Hope fed me a lot of mouth blood.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of chocolate syrup in the one that I gave to.
Oh,
Yeah.
this was for the movie. This wasn't,
Yes.
Yeah, just, you know.
Just on a
Somebody
weekend, a
shows
Friday
up,
night.
you know, yeah.
So for a calendar a couple years ago, they poured blood over me for this. I forget the name of the calendar. I'm sorry, but and she told me it was menthol flavored, and
What?
I don't know, but I'll just say this: it burned the hell out of my eyes. So I do not
Oh.
recommend
Oh.
menthol flavored blood.
Mm.
So
Oh.
mouth blood stays in the mouth. You learn
Yeah,
that.
you
Yeah,
need
it was
eye
good.
blood for that.
It was-
Yeah.
yeah. We need
Kinda
to
like, I
bring in
need
the
a
eye
gallon
blood.
of arm blood, please.
Visine and red food dye. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you make eye blood out of. Not menthol.
No. Get the menthol in your eyes.
Yeah,
So,
it just hurts thinking about it.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
wasn't a good time, and it took days to get it all washed out.
Ooh.
Oh.
It was my hands were just red for a long time.
I see. That
In
just
my head.
reminds me of when Tim Balm was talking about on Dead Alive when he was just covered in fake blood, and theirs was a lot of like corn syrup. And
Oh
in
yeah, that
Australia,
hurts.
I
Yeah,
guess
for the
that like
hair.
oh yeah, that's what he was saying. He
Yeah.
never got some of that stuff out, and it like called every bug within 10 miles in New Zealand, and they just
Oh.
swarmed everybody on the set. He said that
Oh.
was just miserable.
I can't even imagine what those bugs look like in New Zealand.
No, they're
Yeah,
probably like 4
that's a
feet
good point.
across and stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's a horror movie on its own.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Paul McGinnis was brought up, and Paul's. I love Paul. Paul's a very entertaining guy. He's been on the show many times. So, what's it like to work with Paul? Besides, keeping him safe.
Paul's great. He's so funny and he's so sweet and so supportive of all of his friends. And he'll support you no matter what you're doing, and he'll say good things about you no matter what you're doing. And it's really been great to get to know him over these past couple years.
And I hope you have.
It feels safe when Paul is around,
Yes.
for sure. He's like a warm hug.
Yeah, and all the danger is
He
going to
is
go
like
to
a
him.
warm hug.
That's very nice. I hope he's listening.
Really warm when Golden throws steaming ceramics at him.
So, Hope, casting your own film, Jane and the Brain. What was that like? Were they actors that you knew beforehand? You'd worked with before?
Well, I met Alyssa on the set of Slasher Days. She is the co-star of Jane and the Brain. And then I held auditions for the lead role of Jane. The actress I did cast, I met her like the summer before I cast her. So she definitely had the look that I was going for. And then she was the first one that auditioned, actually. And I ended up choosing her. And I think she really understood what I was going for.
She did a great job. It's Gabrielle, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah, she was great in it. Everyone was great in it. So I'm looking, even though I won't be there, unfortunately, I'm looking forward for you both to see your movies with people, because that's exciting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that too, even though I'll be nervous and half passing out for the first 5 minutes. But
where do you sit normally when you're watching your film with people?
in the back.
Okay.
I like to sit in the front. I don't want to see anybody's
Oh.
reaction.
Interesting.
I sit in the
Kristen,
back near the door just in case I have to fall out of frame for a
Run
bit.
away.
Hear people than to see people.
Yeah, you can see everybody. You're sitting in the front. So, you hope you mentioned, you wanted to watch it as like a viewer.
Mhm.
Is that easy to do? Something you worked on, you made
No.
yourself? Yeah, I wouldn't
No.
think so.
I try to do that like every time I watch a cut of it, but you have to watch it with a critical eye every time you watch it. But once it's done, like once I'm sitting there and it's at the festival, there's not anything I could do about anything that's on the screen being shown. So I might as well just try to enjoy it as a viewer.
Yeah, I have trouble with that too. Because I'm always remembering where we were on set, where it was shot,
Yeah.
and, all the background stuff that was going on. So it's hard for me to look at a movie, one of my movies, objectively, I guess. But I try.
I would assume that would be hard if you do your own editing too, because it's more like I don't want to edit out like the memory of the scene. If like if you have a good memory of filming a scene, it would be hard to look at it like as a different way. Like, oh, maybe it doesn't necessarily fit the flow of the movie. But I had a good time doing it, so I don't want to remove it from the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Dominic wants to know a fun fact. Let me pop this up. Do you have a fun fact about either of your movies that people might not guess?
I don't know. I'm sure there is a fun fact.
I have a fun fact about Jane and the
Oh,
Rain.
I knew you'd come up with one.
There's a lot that I can't say. It would definitely be spoilers, but Gabrielle, who's the lead actress, her actual boyfriend does make an appearance as her husband in the film.
Oh,
That's
cool.
a good
That
one.
was like a cute little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll think of one as soon as we go offline here, but I can't think of one right now.
A lot of people are also just this is a shout to people watching on Facebook, and I appreciate that, but it's not letting me pop up your comments. So if you do want to share in the chat, hop over to YouTube. But Craig Muckler, the man who made Microwave Massacre in the 80s is here. He says, great show. Jack Russell said American Werewolf in London when we were talking earlier about favorite horror comedies. James Watkins says hello. So a lot of people there, but I can't pop up your comments. But thank you guys for for being involved at all. How about Chris Cosgrave, who shot the film?
Oh, Chris is great. He's his style and his experience and his I guess his knowledge, the way he takes his time to do everything was really great on Slasher Days of Summer. And he had Alex Frank, real Alex Frank.
There's two.
There's two Alex Franks.
Oh.
And he's the other one's a cinematographer too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, Chris was great. It was a great, he's very communicative, and communication lines are always open with him. So it's a great experience. And he also shot Agency. So it's been great working with him and getting to know him.
Did you shoot Agency before or after? I'm just like curious, like, I like working with him. I'm going to have him also shoot this other project.
Yeah, we shot Agency after Slasher Days of Summer. There's actually a story there. It was actually Golden Groves who introduced me to Allison Courtney, who is the writer of Agency. I think they work together, maybe. I might have that wrong. But they know each other somehow. And so before Slasher Days of Summer, I got the script for Agency. And I think we might have been planning to shoot it before Slasher Days of Summer. But then it wasn't going to happen. So it was actually a full year after I first read the script that we went back to it, because I kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. And Allison was like, so what about shooting Agency? I'm like, oh, yeah, I thought I was waiting on you. And she thought she was waiting on me. And it was, I don't know. But yeah, we shot Agency after Slasher Days of Summer.
And Hope, I need to ask you, and this is not spoiling the movie in any way. Have you ever eaten an orange in the shower?
No, I haven't, but I want to.
Me too.
I feel like
I wanted to after watching the movie. I was like, this is
I feel like it would be nice.
Yeah. Did that come from anywhere?
I have heard it before.
Oh,
okay.
Like that is a thing. Like you can look that up. It's just something that I've always thought about sometimes.
I've actually not eaten oranges before because I didn't want to get all sticky and gross from eating an orange. So I've actually not eaten an orange because of that. So
Yeah,
just
do
eat
it
one in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you can eat oranges, pizza, anything that's, tacos. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Shower tacos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We started a new trend here on the show. Not to steal Hope's idea here. That could be the sequel. Taco.
In the shower every time.
What's that?
You eat something different in the shower every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, see, now you've got plenty of sequels.
Yeah,
Orange,
just what the best
taco,
thing to eat in the shower is.
pizza,
That's a new
burrito.
podcast idea. Just eating stuff in the shower.
Yeah, we could do the podcast in the shower. Yeah. No one will watch us. But...
Different foods. Pomegranate is today's show.
I feel like fruits would be good.
Yeah, fruits are always better. Right?
Yeah. I think the taco's good too. Depending how messy the taco.
Well, in the shower though, it might be difficult.
You couldn't be under the water with the taco.
Yeah.
Outside the water.
Yeah, they
That's very
shield
true.
certain things where fruit, like
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why it'll be good podcast because each different fruit or each different food has its own pluses and minuses of shower eating.
Yeah, you can rate them too.
Yeah,
exactly.
ease of accessibility to this food. Do you have to shield it much from the water?
Yeah, hits through the roof here. This is gonna go places.
I like this plan.
Return of the Living Shelley. I'm doing a shower taco. Hell yeah. I like it. Yeah. So, Hope, where can people follow? Well, first of all, what are you working on anything currently?
The next thing on my schedule is Greg Lamberson's Frenzy Moon, which we start shooting at the end of this month. I'm going to be assistant director on that as well.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm super excited to do that. I haven't thought about anything of my own yet, but
it's a big project. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going all in on that after Jane and the Brain comes out.
Yeah, no, I think that shows Greg has a lot of confidence in you to have you on board on his, this is like his passion project.
Yeah.
This isn't just something he's making on the weekend. He's like, yeah. So yeah, that's good. Not to put added pressure on you.
Yeah.
Like, this is his passion project. He's one to make.
Don't screw up.
Yeah, I'll be crying every night.
Fine.
Well,
No,
Greg
his
does have
confidence
that
is well
effect.
placed. Hope's a total professional, and she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing more than I do most of the time. So
I will work with you anytime, Kristen.
good.
Now, Kristen, are you working on anything currently?
Yeah, I'm working with Golden Groves actually and Mike Bettino, the September Brothers, on a film called Dingus Day that Paul McGinnis wrote. We've been shooting it kind of all throughout the summer when we have the time to do it. It's a really fun and unique horror comedy, I guess. It's marketed as a folk horror comedy plus a little bit of a Hallmark romance
Interesting.
story.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Also holiday horror, I guess.
Yeah, holiday horror. Yeah. So that's been super fun shooting that with you guys, those guys. I've been running sound for most of it, and I'm producing the project too. So they're just a great bunch of guys, and I love working with them. And then we're actually crowdfunding right now a film called Phantom Frights. Me and Eugene Beaufil are actually producing it together.
Oh, cool.
It's a story he came up with, and I wrote the script, and then I'll be directing it too. It's a pretty unique project. It's a film, but it's based on like a fictional paranormal investigations television show. So the film is actually one episode of this fictional paranormal investigations show. So, yeah, so that's pretty exciting. We're crowdfunding right now. If anyone wants to donate,
what's the link for that, or what platform is it on?
Oh, we haven't shot it yet. The crowdfunder.
The crowdfunder, yeah.
Oh, it's on Indiegogo.
All right. And what would they look up to find it?
The link's on my Facebook page.
I'll grab it and I'll post it in the comments section after the show.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
we're 60% of the way there. Everyone's been super generous.
Nice.
We're hoping to get to 100%. So,
and Greg adds, I have total faith and hope she's ready.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, he put it much better than I did. And he also, Kristen is also author of a series of cozy mystery novels. Oh, that's
Yes,
cool.
I am. Yes.
I need to
That
read
was-
all of those. I just got a Kindle.
Oh, did
Oh,
you?
nice. Perfect.
I'll send them to you.
Really?
Yeah, they're called the L.C. Cromwell Cozy Mysteries. I started writing those a couple years ago. They're super fun to write.
So where are they available?
Amazon. You can get them from me personally too if you're in the area, and then my website kristenskeet.com. You can buy them there too.
Would you ever take any of those stories and try to make a film out of them?
Oh,
Yes, I'd love to. I've started writing a script for the first book so far. That's ultimately always my goal. My first book is called Down When Alice. It's about a fictional rock band. It was basically my way of my favorite band in the world is Fleetwood Mac, and people who know me are going to laugh because I can't ever do any sort of interview without mentioning Fleetwood Mac. And I try not to do that, but here I am mentioning them. But basically, I wrote the book about 20 years ago, and it was my way of trying to put myself into Fleetwood Mac if I, was young and hot and had any sort of musical talent at all. But it turned into a script actually, and then from the script, I wrote the book. And I don't know where I was going on that tangent. But
just possibly making one into a
oh
film.
yeah, so I wrote
yeah.
now I can't remember if I wrote that script first or if I wrote the book first. I think I wrote a version of the book first, and then I wrote a tighter script on it, and then I wrote the book. I think I can't remember now. That was like
What's the differences
2016.
between writing a script and a novel?
A novel
Or
has to have a lot more detail, which I
Mhm.
don't like. I like script writing much more because you don't have to put, you can only write excuse me, what you're seeing on a screen.
Mhm.
So I like that, and I start writing my books that way, and then I kind of have to expand on every section because I'm like, well, this isn't really a whole book yet. So that's a challenge with writing books, but I'm getting there.
Is
how many
it
books do you have in that series?
There's 4 right now, and I'm working on the 5th one,
Nice.
which I hope to get done by the end of the year, but it's already September, and I bet you I don't have it done by the end of the year.
Sherry McCutcheon? I think you wrote the script first.
Thank you, Sherry. Sherry's right. Sherry's kind of like my manager on the side. She does everything for me, keeps me straight. So
Stephanie, she's going to get her Fleetwood Mac PowerPoint out.
that's my sister. See, these are the people who know me. Yep. Anytime anyone mentions Fleetwood Mac, oh, I'm a fan of Fleetwood Mac. I'm like, oh, really? Well, what key was this song that you've probably never even heard of? In?
Well, what is your favorite Fleetwood Mac song?
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know. I love them all.
I guess it's like hard. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard if
Pick
something
your
really like
favorite child,
Yeah, that one's easy.
Yeah, that's usually the way.
If you ask our mom, it's easy. It's always true.
Yeah, that's true. It's always
What? You're not supposed to agree with that. Stephanie says, "Oh God, here we go."
All right, right now my favorite song,
catalog.
Fleetwood Mac song, would be "Save Me a Place" from the Tusk album from 1979. And now my sister's gonna laugh because I won't just tell you the song; I'll tell you the album and I'll tell you the year too.
I remember that when that came out.
Yeah, good album.
Yep,
great album.
So, Amazing Fantasy Fest. It starts next Friday, and it runs for like a week. I think it's pretty long.
Yeah, I think till Thursday through Thursday.
The 18th or 19th is the last day, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So Slasher Days of Summer's on the first day, Friday the 13th.
Yes, at the 920 block. Yep.
Agency plays
Sunday at 1 p.m.
and Jane and the Brain plays.
Jane is the 14th at 9 p.m.
All right, so stay for the whole long weekend,
Yep.
and you can see all 3.
Absolutely.
So, Hope, are you going to be there for the whole week, or are you? What are some of the other things you plan on watching besides your own films?
I'll at least be there the first weekend. I also want to see like the local Western New York shorts, Slasher Days, of course. I really want to see Taylor Martin's film Eccentric.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul McGinnis also has a film. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
just want to see as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
McGinnis also has a short film called Forward that's playing at Amazing Fantasy Fest too. And I can't remember which day. I want to say Saturday at like 4, but I could be wrong about that. But that's I haven't seen it yet, but I helped shoot that one, so I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. And like Hope was saying, trying to see everything you can. That is part of the fun of a festival, because obviously you have stuff like, oh, I really want to see this. But then it's also fun to see stuff you don't know anything about. And, and that could be a big surprise, especially like the short block, because you're going to see a bunch of stuff from all different filmmakers. And that's always a good time, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it could, hey, this is cool. I'm going to go seek this person out and see what else they worked on.
Oh, yeah.
And you have an
follow
excuse to
them.
sit in a movie theater for 7 days and
All
just
day,
eat
yeah.
popcorn and
Yeah.
drink pop.
Yeah.
What's better
That's
than
a
that?
win right there. Yeah.
Sorry,
What's
I
the-
gotta go.
What's the berry? There's a berry drink in Buffalo. I forget the name of it.
Loganberry?
Loganberry, yeah.
Loganberry,
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't have
That's
it
what
here.
So you get your beef on weck and the Loganberry,
yeah.
and you're good
Yep.
to go. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, before I went to Buffalo Dreams, I always thought everyone just ate buffalo wings all the time in Buffalo, but beef on weck, and that's what Greg he suggested, and I agree. Beef on weck. Anyone going to Buffalo? If you explain it, maybe it just sounds like a roast beef sandwich, but it's
It's a little
great.
different.
Yeah, I dig it.
I mean, when you come to Buffalo, they're just called wings. They're not called buffalo
Yeah.
wings.
Oh, okay.
And you have
It
to eat
just
them with blue cheese.
implied
Blue
that-
cheese, no
oh,
ranch.
okay.
No ranch.
I'm in favor of that. I'm not a ranch guy, but I do like blue cheese.
I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat them. I think you're a vegetarian
okay.
too, aren't you, Hope?
Yeah, I switched to just not beef or pork because I like
Oh,
cow
okay.
wings.
Okay.
But chicken wings, I will eat those.
Okay.
All right. So no one is eating beef on weck, but
No
me and
beef
Troy.
on whack.
No.
No.
All
Yeah,
right. That's just me and Neil. That's it.
yeah. The whack. That's not as exciting, I guess.
Just whack.
Yeah.
I'd eat impossible beef on weck.
Yes.
That
Okay.
doesn't even sound good.
Yeah. Or just the celery sticks
Yeah.
from the wing.
So what
With
is the
blue
weck?
cheese.
Is that like a rye bread kind of thing?
It's a
So
salty.
it's-
It's a roll with a bunch of salt on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's sort of like a pretzel roll in a way.
Oh, is it?
Not a
I'd
pretzel,
probably
but a
go get
pretzel
that.
roll. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's short for something like, I'm going to say Weckenstein, but it's not that. But
If
We'll
it's
just go
not,
with
it
that.
should be.
We should know that, but I don't know that.
I've never even had beef on whack when I did eat beef. So.
Oh.
Well, good thing, or else you'd always be like, oh, I wish I could have
Yeah.
that beef on Weck again.
Oh.
Mhm.
The Weck is a manly meal. It is
Yeah, you
indeed.
didn't have it.
Fair enough. All right. Well, this has been very fun. I've known Kristen for a while. I've never had her on the show, so this was very good to have you
Yeah,
here.
this was great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
thank you
anytime
guys.
some news coming out, you're free to come back on. You can talk about it.
Awesome.
If you're a crowdfunder or if it's playing at a festival, whatever.
Mhm.
Let
Okay.
me know.
Awesome. Thank you.
And Hope, this is really cool because I met you years ago when you were like a teenager,
Yeah.
and to see you like involved in so many things since then is really cool.
Yeah. And thank you for having me on again. Thank you for having me with Kristen too. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
no,
was
it's worked
fun.
out really good. Yeah. And the same thing. You're welcome anytime.
yeah.
That's not just Kristen. If you have something and you want to talk about it,
And it sounds
You
like you're
can,
both workaholics, so we'll definitely have you back on. So like,
Yeah,
we've done
absolutely.
16 projects since last time we talked to you.
yes. Camelweck bread. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Weck
I knew
was
that.
sounded
I
better.
knew that.
Weckenstein's cooler, I think. They
Yeah,
should
I'm
change
making the yeah. We're just gonna call it Weckenstein.
Yeah.
On without your hit.
it.
All right. Well, we'll let you go. We'll talk to you soon, Hope and
Yeah,
Kristen.
thank you
Thanks
so
for doing
much.
the show.
you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll see you
All
guys.
right, bye. I'm gonna play the trailers for Jane and the Brain and Slasher Days of Summer, and then we will return. Hey, I was just replying to Annabelle Lecter, who's putting together the campaign for Arbor Day, which hopefully will launch Monday. I'm going to get it all edited together. We got all the cool people involved in the movie doing these little video bits to make an incredible pitch. And it will go live Monday. We'll talk more about Arbor Day in a minute. Here is the trail, and thank you, Annabelle, for doing a lot of the work. This is a Without Your Head film, so me, Troy, and Annabelle are doing all this work to put it together. It's not just one person. All right. Slasher Days of Summer.
Are you a teen troubled by society? Feeling like an outcast or just plain down in the dumps? Well, I'm here to tell you that there's hope for a brighter future for you with us here at Camp Sacken. Hey kids, Camp Director Billy Thatcher here, and I'm here to invite you to Camp Sacken. Camp Sacken, slay your old self.
Whatever, get eaten by a bear then.
Speaking of scare, do you know where we are?
I'm here to help you, ladies.
This isn't funny anymore. This isn't just some cheap, scary movie.
Jesus Christ. The cursed soul of the Nowhere Killer is still with us today.
Fuck you, Elliot!
Be prepared for a fantastic adventure into the future. For when this switch is thrown, the universe will face havoc.
Hey, all right, we are back here. Amazing Fantasy Fest looks sweet.
It does indeed.
Great trailer put together there. It's fun to play. We got a lot of cool people over on the Facebook as well. Antonio Rotuno says cool trailers. Thank you, Antonio. We've got Jack Russell. Great show so far. Thank you, Jack. Hey, John. This is from John Williams. Hey, all. First time listener. Much love from the UK. Thank you, sir. Great show again. Craig Muckler. Thank you, Craig. I'm obligated to say Craig Muckler, the creator of Microwave Massacre. Christian Cordes. What up? Christian's making a Ghostbusters documentary. He wants to come on and talk about.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Yeah, so we'll set that up. But yeah, just so people know, I can't do as many interviews for the next 2 months because we're in pre-production for Arbor Day. So I'm trying to get as many people on, but sometimes it's a little hard to get everyone on who wants on. But that's a good problem. I'm glad a lot of people went on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But Arbor Day, we've got a lot of videos together. It's our first crowdfunder that we put together, so it'll take a little bit longer than I'd hoped, but it'll all work out. It should be long. We should actually have the finishing touch. The last video, I think, is coming in tomorrow, and then I'm going to put it all together this weekend, and we should launch it Monday. A lot of cool people involved. Michael St. Michael's, from the Greasy Strangler and the Once and Future Smash. Bill Whedon from Sergeant Kabuki Man and the Once and Future Smash. Nasty Neil from Without Your Head and the Once and Future Smash and End Zone 2 and a lot of cool stuff. Umbilicus Desidero. Terrible Troy here is making amazing props. And if you donate anything at all, you're going to get updates with different pictures of the props that are being made and all kinds of cool stuff. Troy does have some right here. Look at that. Holy shit. Damn, that's sweet.
Sometimes the props, they come to get you.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. Bubba says he's looking forward to seeing that Monday. Thank you, Bubba. Some people have already been announced too. Paul Ellers from Mad Men, 1981, one of the cool 80s slasher films. Well, his voice will be in the film. He's going to voice one of the characters. It's not been announced yet, but I don't know. We won't announce yet, but
all right. Gotta keep something secret.
Yeah, multiple time guest on the show from Return of the Jedi, and a cult horror film from the 80s is going to be the voice of the tree. A voice of one of the most iconic horror slashers franchise films will be a voice of another character which hasn't been announced yet. That's going to be pretty sweet. Tara Hutchison from New Village Video, multiple time guest on the show, will be involved.
One of our favorite people.
Yes. Helene Udy from My Bloody Valentine will be in Arbor Day. A lot of Annabelle Lecter from Without Your Head and Psycho Ape 2 will be Lunadette, the leader of the Cult of Arbor in Arbor Day. Joe Nidbala, who does our reviews, will be in the film. A lot of local people. So it's going to be a good time. And of course, Mike, we just announced this recently. Michael J. Epstein will be shooting Arbor Day.
Oh,
from Blood of the Tribbids.
You're bringing out the big guns there.
Yes. Blood of the Tribbids and Clickbait, Once and Future Smash, End Zone 2. So it's going to be a great experience. John Williams says Microwave Massacre is wicked. I agree. Let's see here. We got Coast. I don't know. It was so hot outside. How hot was it?
Well,
I could have filled a pitcher of Kool-Aid with the sweat from my own ass crack. What the hell? We don't want to know that kind of stuff, Coast. We don't want to know what you and John Reddy are into on your free time.
Gonna say on my OnlyFans kind of thing or something, but you never know.
Here to a kink shame, whatever they're into. I just don't want any part of it. John Reddy says Kool-Aid tastes great. Wish he had. Can't wait, man. I don't know. He didn't say that. I'm just joking around. I don't want to get John Reddy mad at me. He'll start beating my ass. So, did you see this picture, Troy? Of by the way, in about 15 minutes, we're also going to be joined by Chuck and Karolina, the filmmakers of Killer Grannies.
Nice. All right, I dig it.
Finished the film, making it, so it's not like out yet. They got to edit together. I know nothing about this. They contact me like, can we come on and talk about Killer Grannies? And I was like, absolutely.
I don't need to know anything else. You had me.
Yeah, we had a free spot here on the show. I just got done saying we can't do too many interviews, but when Killer Grannies comes a knocking.
Yep. You have no option. It's just the way it is. It was kind of like that. One of King's latest ones, Holly. When you had, like old cannibals, like serial killer cannibals that are old people.
Right.
Sign me up. Like,
Spoiler alert. You find out right away, but
well, yeah. As soon as you're into the book, you find out.
yeah. I'm just being an ass, Troy.
That's okay.
So I got a couple things I want to show here. So first of all, this has nothing to do with anything, but I just happen to have the picture here.
All right.
When the movie Fanatic came out, starring John Travolta as an obsessed horror movie fan who wears a backpack and goes and kidnaps like horror actors. He's wearing this shirt, and he says it's a one-of-a-kind shirt, which is a total lie, because look at this handsome guy to the left. But I'm wondering, should I sue? Did he just like, I'm making this movie off this guy?
Oh.
Same backpack, same shirt.
Yep.
Both into
Yeah, it
horror
looks like
movies.
the same straps. Yeah.
John Travolta stealing my identity.
Yep. Little single white female with Travolta going on there.
Yeah. You don't see me making a movie about some dancing guy or a 50s greaser. No, that'd be pretty cool.
No.
Solvent. Grease is the word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Solvent. I helped produce Solvent by Johannes. And Johannes let us know it will be making its world premiere at Nightmares Film Festival in October.
Ooh, very cool.
He wanted me to come out for us to be there together, but it'll be too close to when we're shooting Arbor Day, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I appreciate him asking.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been cool. But if you're in the area, go and see the premiere. It'll be a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So, Troy, did you see this Wolfman?
I did. I'm looking for something nice to say about it, and I think the claws look okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of blurry. You can't really see them too well, but out of that particular photo, I think the claws look pretty cool.
You have a video. Let me play the video.
Oh, they do have a video.
Now, to be fair, this is like a display. It's not like the actual makeup from the movie.
Okay.
But it's designed to look like the movie. So I assume the movie version will look like this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He might not. It might look, slightly better quality, but this is, I assume, what the Wolfman is going to be looking like.
Hmm.
And I assume they'll have a better actor, not just some guy.
Some guy wiggling his fingers.
But I can't say this fills me with hope.
No, not at all.
It looks like someone from like Big Trouble in Little China or something. Like
yeah. You're
like
like a throwaway character in some other movie,
Yeah, like some old bad kung fu movie or something.
Yeah. Or like one of the things that like Pennywise would kind of create in it, like
yeah, like
you'd only see for a minute and then it would go away forever.
He's like a cousin in the Wrong Turn movies.
yeah.
It's not
That's
what I
Uncle
think
Leroy in Wrong Turn.
This is hopefully like this looks nothing like the Wolfman in the movie. And since it's called Wolfman, I assume it's a reboot of the Universal Monster. It's because it's not a werewolf. Wolfman's very specific to the Universal Monster movie.
Yeah. Unless they're just going completely like, well, our problem with our other reboots is that everything looked too much like the Universal Classic monsters. And so now we're going to get a Wolfman that looks nothing like that. He's going to look like.
Well, I guess people like the Invisible Man reboot, and he looked nothing like the Invisible Man of old. So in theory, I guess you have something, but this does not look good. Now, sometimes people will see like a picture of the Joker and like, this is gonna suck. Blah blah.
I was guilty of that myself.
Yeah, no, it was different. It wasn't a guy dressed as a Joker, but anyway, I'm not gonna say a movie stinks until it comes out and I see it. But does this fill me with like some hope? No.
This looks like somebody followed around like Bruce Dern on a bender or something, and this is what you got, man. Yeah, yeah. And then when you showed the video, like the claws really didn't look that good either. So
no.
Yeah. Well, on a brighter note, though, I did see like a still photo of that guy. That was Luke Skywalker.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill as the general in the Long Walk.
Oh, really?
I guess that's being filmed right now, so that'll be next year's thing that I'll be all excited about.
Look that up. Yeah, this is a. I read it for the first time recently. It's one of the Bachman books.
Yep. My personal favorite of the Bachman books. I really
I would agree with that. What else was a Bachman book? Thinner is really good.
Same thing with the Running Man.
Yeah, the Running Man's really good too. I would say I'd put it up there with the Running Man. I really like the Running Man.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a great story. It's some people's favorite King story, which I wouldn't say it's my favorite overall King story, but it's really good, and it's never been made into as far as I know, it's never been made to anything like a movie.
I don't think so. Even one of those shorts or something. I don't think it has.
Yeah. So, and people always thought, and I tend to agree. Like, I don't want to say anything is unfilmable, but I do think it's a movie. Just the way the story's presented is going to be hard to capture on film. Not like technically difficult because like it's people walking, but I think it's hard to shoot just a bunch of people. It's not like the book is just they're walking and nothing happens, but I think it's hard to shoot that and make it interesting to look at.
And even the ending, like, is a little bit out there, So like that one might be tough to kind of get a handle on.
Yeah, it's definitely up to interpretation what the ending is, which I personally like, but often in the King stuff when it's left up to even though I think even if it's kind of easy to know what's happening, sometimes I want to spell it out, like in Thinner, and it doesn't make it better. And I think it's always ruined the end of it. Even though I like both versions of it, I don't think the end's ever very good.
No, and especially in the newest one, like the whole second half isn't very good.
Yeah, I didn't think the grown-up stuff was the second movie I think is a huge fall compared to the first movie, which I thought was excellent, honestly.
Yeah, I love the first one.
But the actual end with not the actual end, there's stuff happens after that, but the big fight with Pennywise and you see what Pennywise is and stuff. That is very hard to film.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
he is what makes you he is what you fear the most. So how do you film that? Because everyone will have a different thing, and quite honestly, I think you film it in a way where you can't show something specific.
Yeah, and then you get half the audience pissed off because of that, though.
You're right, because then it's like you teased us what it is, but you don't see it. So it's a very difficult thing, and I do think you have to make the decision, which could be like a brave or whatever decision to be like, we can't show the deadlights. You gotta, it's up to interpretation what it is. Otherwise, you're left with a big rubber spider, and people like, it's kind of lame,
Yeah.
or just a series of goofy stuff that's in the newest one.
Oh yeah, yep, with the giant Pennywise, and then
Yeah, to me that was even worse. I think.
I think so too. Just because it's their own fault for being lazy and not establishing. I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Like with the kids' imagination, and then
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Like they left it out of the first part, which I didn't like. That's one thing I don't like about the first part. But I think you don't notice how much it takes away from the story until the second part.
Oh yeah, yep.
Because if you establish all the stuff that people never read the book, like the bike and everything is like a kid's thing that's really just an item, but they use their imagination to make it into a weapon of some kind. The inhaler, is acid and all this stuff.
The
so they
slingshot and all that jazz, yeah.
And so it's not established in the first movie, which takes away a lot of the magic of the first the story, which I never got. I didn't think it made it better. But it really hurts the second part because then they can't go back into the mindset of a child to use their imagination to make weapons again. So it really, I don't want to say it ruined the second half. I think there was a lot of other problems with it too, but I definitely think it's a big part of why the second half's not as good.
Agreed.
That and the bully, for some reason they don't bring back. He's kind of just a worthless character in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yep. Where he's like such a crucial part of both the book and the old movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here he is. It looks pretty sweet.
Yep.
I don't know if I would have noticed that's Mark Hamill right away. Maybe if I really looked at it, but it would take me a while.
The one I saw though, like he's actually in like a military vehicle and he's kind of waving as he's going by.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's not. Maybe they just took that picture of him.
It could have been.
Oh yeah, I see this.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in the back of a vehicle here. I'll grab it. No, I guess the other one is him too. So it must be different parts of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you see him at the beginning of the walk, and then at the end.
He's giving the speech, and then I think you see him a few times throughout. They might make the character a little bigger for a movie version too. I'm not sure.
That's true too, and that would be fine too. Like, oh yeah, there you go. Yep.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, because I think if done well, it could really be outstanding.
Yeah, I agree with this. And she was also on this very program.
Yes, she was.
I would also recommend Gretel and Hansel. She was in, I think, is a really good movie. The name is escaping me. I'm gonna go look her up real quick.
Too.
I feel really bad about that. Sophia Lillis.
Okay. Yep, I think she's one to watch for the future.
Yes. Yeah, I was surprised she came on the show.
Yeah. And then we just saw like one of I think it might have been the kid that plays Bill. He was the one that was in that Nick Cage movie we saw with the creatures that come out at night.
Oh yeah. What was that called? Arcadia.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good for them. I know we always talk about this, but I do think the first half is the best part of the story itself and both movies.
Agreed. Like it is cool, like to get the payoff at the end, like when they all come back, and that's pretty neat because it's about the only time I think that you get to see both the kids and then like their adult counterparts. Because a lot of the times in King, you either get a group of kids or a group of adults, but to kind of see them both parts, I think it's kind of cool.
It was cool to see Daisy Head in another film. Last thing I saw her in was Wrong Turn. Was that also Sophia Lillis, or is this someone else?
I don't know.
I don't know if Daisy Head is like a nickname for someone, or if there's someone who's actually named Daisy Head.
That one you got me on.
Yes.
Those
These other
like
guests
you never
should
know.
be. Yeah, these other guests should be here. Now, I am worried that we possibly, hopefully I gave them the right. I would have given them the right. Hopefully they know that it's Eastern.
Oh.
Because I really don't want to be up till 12:30.
Oh.
If so, we will probably reschedule with Killer Grannies. But let me see here. 9:30. Did I say Eastern? Yes. Oh, here they are. Here they are.
All right.
Look at that. Coming on here. Let me switch over to Killer Grannies. Boom. Look at that. All right.
That was pretty seamless.
Uh-oh. There we go. Otherwise, Grannies is right over your head. Do you guys have a camera? If not, this is fine.
Yes.
Yes. Unless you want to stay mysterious.
Yeah, it's all mysterious now. We just have names.
We got the Grannies here.
Yeah, no one will know. It could just be the Grannies.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello there.
Hello. So we have Chuck. How do you say your last name, Chuck?
Chuck Morrongiello. Karolina
Morrongiello. All right. And Karolina, do you also use Morrongiello?
Yes, I'm Morrongiello. Yes.
All right. I like it. And I like the pronunciation. Morrongiello. Hey.
That's it. It's Italiano.
Yeah. Yep. I'm half Italian, so I can get away with it. So is it Troy, by the way. So Killer Grannies. Right away, when I hear the name Killer Grannies, I'm like, I think I'm into this. So
yep, you had us at the name.
Yeah. So Chuck, can you give people an idea of what Killer Grannies is?
Killer Grannies, I wrote the story about December of 2023. And we were in Europe. And I had found this story that I've seen many, many times on Deadly Women, ID. I've seen it all around the world, people killing for financial gain. And I found it interesting that nobody has written kind of a story about this. So I did some more research, and we found out there was a bunch of elderly women that were diabolical, evil, sick. And they basically were killing innocent men for money through different products. I'm not going to say what it is. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, of course.
But I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's been used throughout the world in different countries in America. And so I found it interesting and kind of wrote about these two elderly women that like to prey on innocent men. And that's how that all came about.
I'm interested. And Karolina, what is your role in? Because you're obviously not a killer granny. So what is your role?
I am not a killer, and I'm not a granny.
Right.
Yes. I'm a producer. I'm an editor of that film, and also I had a little role in that film. So we both starred in that film, but as just just a little bit because. The main actresses were Killer Grannies, obviously. That was Rina Romano and Jan Van Dyke. Amazing women, fantastic to work with. Rina Romano, she was an opera show, so she's like she's been around and she was great to work with. The same Jan Van Dyke. So I'm a producer together with Chuck. We have a company, it's Three Rats Entertainment. We're both rats. Our Chinese zodiac sign is a rat.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, very good.
We have a Jack Russell Terrier, and she's a rat terrier, so she's a third rat.
I like it. I like the backstory.
Yep,
that's how the three rats came into play.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, and we started the company. We're making big productions right now. We started from smaller movies and somehow our career developed and we are where we are right now.
So, Chuck, was it hard to cast, your perfect killer grannies for the movie?
Good question, Neil. We went through hundreds of women, literally hundreds of women trying to play this part. We had to have a woman that was kind of a psychopath. I was looking for a psychopathic woman, evil, monster person. People tried out for it, and we just couldn't find the right people. Finally, Rosa, which is the main character, which is played by Rena Romano in Tampa Bay, Florida here. She piqued our interest. And the next thing I know, I approached her, and she did a screen test for me, and I says, "There's our granny killer."
Nice.
So that came apart on her one side, and then we had her partner, which played by Jan Van Dyke. I was looking for a woman that actually was a European kind of accent, not an American descent, but somebody that had a background that had was kind of from Russia. So would play a psychopathic European that lives in America, and she plays the part of Kate Roberts, Karolina Roberts.
So she sent us a self-tape, and she mocked that accent, which Chuck is talking about. And we thought that she's actually from somewhere in Europe, and she did it so perfect, but she actually is from New Jersey. How did you
Really?
do that? So she's
Very close, very
excellent,
close.
You know?
Yeah.
She actually played before, she was mocking a German accent before, or some
She
other
was in
accent.
Berlin or Germany. She
Yeah,
said.
so she knew how to do that, but it was excellent. It was just really cool.
I mean, nobody could really do it, Neil. I mean, she literally just nailed it. Everybody that tried to do the accent would do it for maybe 10 seconds, and then you could hear their American accent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So she nailed the part for us,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
we took
that's
her on board
awesome.
with us.
So, what kind of vibe is the movie? Is it like straight horror, thrillers, or is it like horror comedy?
No, it's sinister. I mean, it's
wow.
gonna make you feel very, very disturbed. That's kind of how we write our movies. We put out the American Ripper. I play a sicko in that film. Karolina plays my counterpart, and it won all kinds of awards all across the world, and it's in every country. And people call it a very disturbing film. So we wanted to make Killer Grannies in that genre of very suspense thriller, psychological thriller. Not slasher, but more of a sick film.
It's a thriller. It's not a horror. It's more like a crime story or a thriller, but also with a plot. There is a very interesting plot. So you gotta watch it. But first of all, it's not even edited, so we just wrapped.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like, how, because I saw on your Facebook, you guys just finished it, so you're filming it. So what do you foresee, like the time frame of when it'll be, completed, where you can, people can see it?
So you're asking me. I'm an editor, so
all right, yeah, all right.
Everything
So
is in my hands, in my eyes. So well, I have 2 other movies in post.
We have actually 3 movies in post.
Yes. But let's say 2. So I'm working on this Bunny Killer movie that we wrapped last year as well. It's coming along great. I'm almost finished. We have other line editors. We have other editors I work with, but I'm basically doing the whole thing. So so it's almost finished, this one. Then I have another film that we just wrapped in April.
Wow.
It's called Snarly Owl. It's amazing. It's another full feature film, big production that we did in Harper's Ferry, and that has to be coming on next, and then Killer Grannies. So you're talking about 2 movies.
Yeah, we just wrapped in Maryland. We filmed at the Military National Park, Harper's Ferry, in a small historical town there, and we put a a diabolical creature monster there that terrorizes a small community.
Oh,
Oh,
all right. I'm
that's
down with
good.
that too.
And Bunny Rabbit Killer is we filmed up in the Poconos up in New York, and
That's another creature.
another crazy monster that terrorizes a community. So,
You guys have been busy then.
Yeah.
yeah. So we made Killer Grannies. We came back from March, April, and Karolina says, I'm going to start getting to edit. I says, I'm going to make another film. She's like, no, don't do it. I was like, I'm going to make another film.
So the problem is, like, when I'm editing, he's bored. So he's like, I'm not gonna write another screenplay. So we did all this production, but what's happening? I have to be involved because I'm a producer, so I have to postpone my editing a little bit and get to the production mode. So we've been in production for like 4 months before Killer Grannies. We shot that film, and now it's back to the editing mode of Bunny Killer, and hopefully I can finish that soon.
The interesting thing about Killer Grannies is we had hundreds of extras. So we had a lot of extras involved, and to organize all the extras in different scenes of the film, it was a little bit challenging. So we kind of figured it all out, and everybody was on board, and we were filming all throughout Tampa Bay, all throughout Pasco County, all throughout Land O'Lakes. I don't know if you know where these places are in Florida, but there was a lot of commotion going on.
So we did this major scenes. One scene was in the courthouse. We had the largest courtroom that was lent to us for that day. And we did this huge trial scene.
It was a murder trial.
Murder trial scene with like 200 extras, and all the defense team and prosecutor team and judge and Killer Grannies and jury and everybody. So we've been there for like the whole day, but it was huge. It was so many extras, and everybody had so much fun. So we love, that was actually entertaining even to work with extras and background on that scene. It was great. So they were so into the scene. That was a great day. So we had a lot of fun that day. Another big scene that was, in the movie Killer Grannies, which I'm not gonna give you any spoiler, but I can tell you that, there's a bunch of homeless people starring in that movie. I mean, actors were playing.
Okay.
So we did this homeless man scene, which involved like maybe 80 to 100 background as well.
These guys all came in outfits, and we put the magic touches on. Yeah, we were there at 6 a.m. in the morning, and they all came in these bum outfits.
With all the makeup.
We had our makeup artists put it one by one.
Five makeup artists.
We put all the finishing touches on them, and we were in about 105-degree weather all day.
Wow.
Filming this scene on this Central Avenue, downtown Tampa Bay. It got so crazy that the people across the street actually thought that there was a congregation of bums invading the area.
Wow!
I swear.
They actually came.
So
the narco?
The recovery team came over, drove by, gave one of our main actors condoms, and gave him some Narcan. And he's coming to me.
That's classic.
Look what she gave me. She wants to rescue us. Like
they thought they were actually bums living on the streets, and they were all congregating.
Wow!
We're talking dozens and dozens of men strewn out throughout the street.
But it was very challenging day.
Yeah.
It was like you said, 100-degree weather.
Wow.
Our camera crew was just amazing.
They were amazing.
Day. They were wearing this, suits just to shoot those scenes in a steady cam, a red cam, and all this. It was so hot that, we were sweating our asses off. But we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Had you ever
rubbied up the actors too well? They thought they were real,
Yeah.
homeless people.
Oh yeah.
Had you ever worked with like a cast of so many extras?
No, not before.
Not in until this film.
Yeah.
And we knew that it was going to be sensitive to a lot of extras. The murder trial scene, the restaurant scene. We had another restaurant scene, the streets of Tampa Bay with the bums. So we wanted to make it kind of where it was just overblown. It really was an impact to have all these these extras.
The film needed that. The film script required to have background of these people, so we had to make sure that we have them. The streets couldn't be empty. You know, had to be packed with a homeless man. There was 3 big scenes shot on that day.
It was a praying field. It was a field for a killing field.
We don't want to say too much. We don't want to.
So it's got like a true crime kind of vibe to it. The Killer Grannies.
It's based on actual events, true events.
Nice.
Many true events. You know, many stories. In my crazed mind, you know.
What are your plans to do with Killer Grannies and your other films once they're finished? Like, do you do festival runs or?
Definitely
nice.
Festival runs. Definitely, with American Ripper, we actually won 10 festivals. So we submitted to maybe 45, but we won 10 of them. So that's great. They actually, you know, how you say that? It was great. It was very rewarding. We won like 2 feature films. We won 1 Best Music Score in Los Angeles Festival.
Nice.
I won Best Actress.
Oh, congratulations!
Okay.
I highly recommend you guys to watch it if you like horror.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
You can see it on Tubi, Fandango. You can see it on Amazon Prime. You can see it in probably over 100 countries as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's worldwide. It's right now. It's getting to be worldwide distribution. We are already in Germany. We are already in UK. We are already in all these countries like Taiwan and stuff. With Bunny Killer, though, it's interesting because we might have a theatrical distribution this time.
That'll be great.
The whole Mexico. So we are. I have to just finish this film. I mean, I swear to God, I just have to.
Just
finish it.
Is Bunny Killer an Easter? Is Bunny Killer an Easter film?
No. It's
All
a
right.
horror film. It's a creature feature. But it's possibly going to be released on Easter.
Yeah.
See, now that would be all right then. That would be pretty cool.
Yes.
It falls in the same vein as kind of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Those are people that we work with at ITM Distribution.
Yeah.
They're good friends of ours there. Our sales agent's out in LA and he tries to place it with Lionsgate or Warner Brothers or Universal.
Oh, wow.
So we're excited about this film.
It's a big film.
It's a big film for us.
Yeah. Well, besides like the big like Marvel movies, those are the movies that play, you know, theatrically, are independent horror films. That's the kind of movies people like to go see because they're fun to watch with an audience.
I know,
that's what you love to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
Like I'm wondering how many years we are waiting right now for the movie Joker. Like it's been a while, right? This Joker, and it's coming out right now in October for Halloween, and it just shows us that it takes so much time to master the film. And even when we shot that film last year in May, it took us a year right now in post, and it's coming along great, and it's almost finished. But it takes a long time to master the film and reshoot the scenes or do something extra just to make it perfect. So yeah,
everything's got to be just perfect. A lot of people don't understand that filmmaking is you know, it's a deep art, you know, just like music is. You know, one of our first films we filmed on a cell phone called Amityville, Mount Misery Road. I did it where I grew up in Long Island, right next to the Amityville Horror House. And me and Karolina went into this famous road where I grew up that's haunted. And we shot it there, and we didn't think anything of it. Next thing we know, they're fighting over it in LA. And it went viral all over the world.
Oh, wow.
Just from me filming it on a cell phone.
So we had a Walmart distribution at that time. We were able to be everywhere on all internet platforms. And that's how it took on. But the thing is that we didn't think anything about that movie. We were just
having fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
We shot it on cell phone.
And Karolina was playing the main part, and there was a good connection between Amityville Horror and the Mount Misery Road, and they're in Long Island, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And it just went crazy, you know.
Yeah,
it went so crazy. We had death threats from
oh
it.
wow! Like about what?
I mean, they didn't like me, you know.
Oh, well, that's not very nice.
Yeah, that's not cool.
People are just, I don't know.
Yeah,
They just.
it's
they
better
just,
than no reaction.
I don't know
Yeah,
though.
I
With
know,
death
but-
threats, I think I
I'll try to
might
be nice
prefer
here,
the
but-
no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, they
mean,
they actually wanted to kill her.
Wow.
Fans.
So-
We had
I mean, that's
we
not
had
fun.
actually the police involved and everything.
Yeah, I don't want to laugh at that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
crazy
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
That was some time ago, though, but
Right.
it was, that's weird because I
Yeah,
never
that's its own
before.
movie there, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never before experienced anything like that,
Sure.
and now we have to, try to just to cope with hate and love and,
Yeah.
bad comments and good comments.
A real
so-
question out of that. Did that ever make you like think, oh, maybe I don't want to do this? I
No.
don't want to make. Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
didn't
good.
care, like I just
No, that actually Neil, that actually wanted us to make more films.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
we know that we have people that love us and we know that people that hate us. But that's cool. We like all of it. Since then we've grown so much that we have fans all around the world. So we like it.
Yeah.
Plus me and Karolina, we're both musicians too.
Okay.
So we play original material and we put our own material in our
that's
films.
cool. Yeah.
Um,
Do you travel to the festivals? When you're on the festival run, do you go to them
Yeah.
in person?
Yeah, we do. We had a couple of festivals last year that we won. We went to Orlando, and that was a blast. It was MegaCon Orlando, so we won that festival, and it was fun. Usually we dress up in fun outfits,
Nice.
especially me. It's just fun to be in a community of people who like horror and they're into a thriller and just meet everybody. It's just fun. We actually have a very large community here in Tampa too that we work with. People that are into horror, other filmmakers
that's good.
too.
There's a lot of horror stuff coming out of Tampa Bay. We have a lot of people intrigued by the genre of horror slasher films. We're good friends with a lot of the directors, producers around the area, and we kind of worked together with them. In this film, it was our idea, but we've played in other parts in other people's films as actors. We're both actors as well. So.
Okay.
Now, did you know about like that community there before you made your Amityville movie, or is that kind of how you got involved in it?
No.
On the Amityville film you're talking about?
Well, I mean, like, did you know that there was like a community of filmmakers in Tampa? How did you get
No.
involved? in it?
Yeah, is that what brought
Not
you there?
before
or-
Amityville.
Not before Amityville. I mean, we knew maybe one friend of ours that was a director in the town, and but once Amityville hit, it was sold out in Walmart stores within a week. Actually, we just got the bug, and then we just said, "Hey, this is we like this. Let's just do this."
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and that was before everyone was making all the Amityville movies.
yeah,
Yes.
we actually
We are
now
number
there's
18.
we
Yeah.
were
We're
actually the
number-
one that started that. After we put Amityville, Mount Misery Road, everybody started ripping us off.
If you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to
that was-
Yep. Then you
Wikipedia,
see it everywhere.
You're the ones to blame. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we heard.
when you go to Wikipedia and you see the order of Amityvilles, we are, I think, number 18, and you have already like 100.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, since then
God,
it's
there's
just
so
been
many.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when it first came out in 1976 when I went and saw the Amityville horror movie with James
Yep.
Brolin.
Mhm.
I literally saw the film and then drove maybe 10 minutes away from the movie theater and parked my car right in front of the
Wow.
house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was a very spooky, eerie feeling, knowing that the famous, the murder house was right there in my backyard.
Oh yeah.
Where are you guys located? Where are you? Where
We're both from
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Ah, okay, very cool.
I'm on the Cape, and Troy's a little bit off the Cape, on Cape
Ah.
Cod.
We're just on different sides of the bridge.
Yeah.
Excellent,
yeah,
Neil. I've been
oh-
trying to get on your show for a long time, and I really appreciate you.
Oh,
having
I'm
us
sorry
on
it
tonight.
didn't work out. I'm
Yeah.
glad that it's worked out now. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Thank
And you have a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
stuff
great having
coming
you
out,
guys
so
on.
we can have you back on when
Oh yeah.
because
We got a lot of exciting things happening.
Bunny Killer and Granny Killer, so it'll be fun. So I
Mhm.
appreciate that you've been trying to get on too.
Yeah. But we had a lot of fun. Granny Killers is going to be a hit. Everybody's he was
They're
all
great.
over Fox 13 News. It was all over the papers. There's a big buzz on IMDb. What was the number that it was getting?
All right, so the movie was just wrapped, and it was like 28,000 on IMDb.
That's
like-
yeah.
That was a good number. The movie
Yeah,
hasn't
of
been
course.
out, and it was
Yeah.
28,000.
Well,
But it was fun to see that. Like, okay.
We
So-
literally just finished it 10 days ago. I mean, we were there
Oh wow.
10 intense days. We filmed like 70 scenes. We were working 15-hour days, and
Wow.
we had a crew of like 30 people and hundreds and hundreds of actors, from all over the place.
Yeah.
We had
what-
a lot of help too. A lot of volunteers came by to help
Sweet.
us. Students from Full Sail College.
Oh,
We had
That'd be in the area. Yeah.
We had a
Yeah.
film institute here. It's a famous school here in Winter Park, Florida, for students, and we got them involved to give them the love of how a motion picture is being made, with a professional film crew,
Yeah, it was a lot of people on the set. Set is fun. I don't know. You guys like production?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love
Production
the.
is fun.
I'm really looking forward to it, and
Oh yeah.
I think right away, the name gets people, and then you have to have more than that, obviously, but it gets people in the door right away. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, we always try to. Okay, first of all, it's a very hard work when you're in the production set. It's 12 hours straight work. There are breaks, but we were trying to keep it 12 hours, 12 and a half. We used to go crazy with Snarly Owl movie. I'm not going to tell you how many hours we spent on the set with our crew, but it was crazy. This movie, we tried to stick to protocol. It was 12, 13 hours max on the set. Exhausting though, but very rewarding. In the end of 10 days, we were like, oh my God, we did it. It was like a big
It was a big party afterwards.
Oh, I bet.
Karolina was
Yeah.
making a lot of the props.
Nice.
Oh,
throughout
very
the film.
cool. So that's
Mama Edwa's cookies.
Okay, that's my mom's name. So I just
Okay.
created this box, and this is like,
So
That's
we
very
do a lot of
cool.
our own stuff.
Yeah.
We make
Whoops.
That's a way.
do a lot of.
I didn't want to
crazy
do
stuff.
that. I meant to take you off solo, but I took you all out. But you're back here. So, yeah.
I think you want to take a picture of that.
oh, you want to take a picture of that?
Oh no, I got it. Yeah, but I accidentally
Oh,
took you off
okay.
the screen. But I got it. Yeah.
But Mama Edwa's cookies are good, man.
I want a cookie, but yeah. No, I like
Yeah.
the box, and
We had an actor. There's two guys, actually three gentlemen that play the main male parts in the film. Tom Watson, and then we have Bob Andrews, and we have Leo Sanders.
That's a stage name, though. That's
These
not
are the
actors.
stage names. And one of the male parts, we could not find this actor. I mean, literally, we were going through dozens and dozens of men. And we literally had to go outside to Texas to find this gentleman, Chase DeMoss. Just an amazing actor. And he played the part to the hilt. And did a great job.
He played Tom Watson, one of the lead actors in the film. Chase DeMoss was brilliant. He was
I know
excellent.
that person. I gotta look up Chase.
I've
DeMoss,
heard the
'cause
name
I've
too,
heard
yeah.
him too. I think I'll look him up. But Chris Roberts here in the chat says he had a great time on Killer Grannies.
Hey, Chris!
Hey, Chris.
Chris Roberts, yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Chris was one of our FBI agents.
Yes.
Nice.
He was part of the search team.
It was a search team. Yep.
So
did that.
we actually had a lot of these cops, FBI agents and undercover cops trying to get involved in the film, and he did a great part.
Nice.
Chris is actually a well-known actor around the Tampa Bay area. There was just a lot of love on the set. We've actually had a lot of people telling us that they've been on other production sets, and our production was like one big party. So we kind of like to make our film a movie party, not so clinical. We want to have everybody have fun. We had great food, lunch, dinner. It was
Nice.
Mediterranean.
Greenland Grill. Okay, they actually did food for us. So
We had Mediterranean food
that was awesome.
being shipped
Oh,
in
well, I'm a
every
big
day.
fan of
Yeah,
Mediterranean.
Neil would have
food,
been
so-
showing up for
Yeah,
just for
yeah.
that.
This guy was making everything
We've been
lamb.
told that
Oh yeah,
Oh.
lamb's
our
my
first
favorite.
told
So,
us.
yeah.
All right.
Our crew
A
told
doner
us that
kebab, or
that's
yeah,
super
Yeah,
good.
we'd be all over
They
that.
never. Everybody's praising the food, saying they never had food like this on a movie set.
Oh, that's
It's
we
awesome.
were laughing.
They actually, the owner of the Greenland Grill, we actually put in the American Ripper.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
we put
Oh,
him.
that's too cool.
Yeah.
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 So we actually put him in our film, the
Yeah.
American Ripper. He got his little cameo performance.
Nice.
But that was great.
So he was very thankful that he was the chef involved on the set. So
Yeah, I want to get
Yeah,
in,
that's
in one of
too
your
cool,
films
yeah.
just to get some good Mediterranean food.
Yeah,
That'd be-
exactly. That's
Oh,
a trip
yeah.
to Florida for Neil and I.
You're most welcome. The next movie we're gonna do, we're gonna probably
Alright.
do it in New York.
I have this all recorded now, so it's I have it.
It's binding now.
Great people, great time
Joe
from Joe
Albino!
Albino.
Woohoo!
yeah, with
Thank
Joe
you for
Albino was great. You know, I was trying to find a cop that had a New York attitude. You know, almost like a Boston
Okay.
cop.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
like real tough attitude. And Joe approached me and said, "Look, I want to be in your film." And we basically said, "Okay, let's do it." And it's just great. You know,
So he's playing one of the detectives.
he's playing one of the main detectives. The two detectives in the film were just brilliant. You know, they were just the casting that we did. We took our time on casting. So casting is very important in a film. We just don't want to pick anybody to play the parts.
Yeah.
So we want to feel people out and see how they can really indulge in the character. So casting is very, very important, especially in our company. We try to get the brilliance out of the actors.
Do you use a lot of this? Since you said you guys are having a lot of fun on set and stuff, do you use a lot of the same actors and a lot of the same crew?
No.
No, not
we-
really.
We use the same crew. We worked with the same Adam Buster, director of photography, and his team on this movie. So we worked with him twice on Snarly Owl and on Killer Grannies. Great team, great people to work with, film crew. So yes, we were working with some people that appeared on Snarly Owl, not in terms of actors and actresses, but crew.
Crew members.
Yeah.
Joanne Klein, our makeup artist, she actually drove all the way from West Virginia to Florida just to be on the
Lisa
set.
Minnelli from
Lisa
Alabama.
Minnelli, she was a still photographer and production assistant on the set.
Lindsay from West Virginia. They all come down from other states because they had a blast on our last film. And they says, "Chuck, if you're making a movie, I'm going to be there wherever you want to make it." So we're already on to another movie. We're making a big movie in Long Island. So
a lot of crew members on the last movie show up on this one as well, which we were very appreciated, and then it was a blessing to have them. And we worked with our film crew on, our cameras and lighting and all these guys that were Snarly Owl.
as far as actors, we try to bring new actors in, give them a chance to be part of our film
It
production.
depends on the casting. It depends on the script.
Yeah.
Who actually fits
What
the
you're
role.
looking for.
So
Yeah. That makes
it's
sense.
just
Warriors Chronicles. Hello, guys. This movie was amazing.
Warrior
Warrior
Chronicles.
That's probably,
Is it Lindsay?
I think that's Lindsay.
Let us know, Warriors, Warrior, who you are. I assume that's not their given name, Warrior Chronicles.
I think it's Lindsay. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
It is Ellen Sit.
Yeah.
Yes, Lindsay.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Too funny.
Do you have a social media page for Killer Grannies? For people to
Yes.
follow it and see where it's going.
The best, if you guys follow Three Rats Entertainment, our Facebook page. We also have Facebook page Killer Grannies. You can find us on IMDb and just read more about our films. You can just either Google my name or his name, and it's gonna direct you to all the stuff we did, and especially IMDb page. But yeah, if you just also Google Killer Grannies and you go to IMDb and you see us, then you click on us and you just can have a list of films we did. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Or Three Rats Entertainment, our Facebook page. We're
Yeah, I
posting
just gave it a like here on Three Rats. Well, I
Thank
followed it here
you.
on Three Rats
Thank you.
Entertainment.
All
Yeah,
I'll
right.
have to do the same.
yeah. Some people come check it out, and it would be fun to have you guys back. You know, when either when Killer Grannies is coming out, or when Karolina gets one of the other movies edited and it's coming out. So yeah, just hit me up.
Well,
and
we
you
know
guys are
Bunny
always
Killer
welcome
will
back
be the
on.
film that's going to be coming out next. That's just the working title right
Okay.
now. We have a big surprise for the title, but we can't tell you
cool.
that right now. But we'll keep
We
you
love
informed,
secrets, so that's
you know?
good.
Yeah,
It keeps us
Yeah.
intrigued that way.
exactly. I think Troy, we hear you, but you froze up. At least on mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
did I?
You froze.
Yeah. But it's a
I
cool,
like
it's
to
a
be
cool
frozen.
still. You're there. It's fine.
Is it
You don't
okay
look
as
bad.
long as I
Yeah.
look cool while I'm
It's a
frozen?
cool still.
All right.
Joe Albino, let's make a movie. Woohoo! So
Yeah,
he's all
Joe.
excited.
Yeah, let's make a movie. Next movie, New York.
We actually had one of the lead actors do a kind of a dance. What was it? A dance music that he did.
Oh yeah, deep house techno mix. So funny thing, our actor Chase DeMoss, who was playing one of the main characters too, he took from behind the scenes some of our voices and he put in the mix and he just mixed the deep house techno song, 11 minutes of this track, and I just posted on Three Rats. So if you guys want to listen to this funny thing,
yeah.
it's just the song, you know, that he mixed, but it's a lot of things behind the scenes. So.
It's getting a buzz going on.
Yeah.
He's a very talented guy. So
Yeah, let's check it out. I'll check it out after the show here. So people go and follow Three Rats Entertainment, and we're looking forward to all the cool movies coming out and the ones you've already made. People could check out on Tubi and all the different platforms out there.
Yes.
Do you have a preference
Yes.
where they watch them? I know Tubi's usually people's favorite.
you can see the American Ripper
That's
on
how it looks.
all internet platforms. You can see it.
The American Ripper. The American Ripper. We can just Google that and you see that green poster with
Yeah,
a house. That's our
you'll
film.
know that's the right one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the right
warning
one.
you, it's very disturbing.
It's a slasher. It's disturbing.
I will
Karolina
check
plays
it
a
out.
great part.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. And this was very good, fun. I'm glad you guys reached out and we set this up.
Thank you.
Awesome, Neil.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
having us
Neil.
tonight.
Yes, anytime. Yeah, anytime you guys want back on, or when the trailer's ready, anything like that, let me know and come back on. We'll play the trailer or whatever you want. All right.
You know I'll
Okay,
reach out to you.
cool.
So
Yeah.
Thank you
All right.
so
It's
much.
good to meet you
Neil.
both. Yeah.
all right,
Nice to meet
thank
you,
you, Neil.
Carolina.
It was
Chuck.
good seeing you, man. Finally
Yeah.
got a chance to meet you. Thank you, Neil.
Yeah. Yeah.
See you,
Bye.
buddy.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that was very cool. I appreciate. I think Troy's got some. He's frozen. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna be heading out anyway because I gotta get back to. So it's all fleshed out Arbor Day. I want people to think I haven't written this thing, but I'm going through. I'm rewriting stuff. I'm fleshing out some characters. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm spicing up some tree stuff, and then I started doing a little more out there with some scenes, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. Launching Monday, the campaign for Arbor Day. Lots of cool people involved. Myself, Terrible Troy, Annabelle Lecter, Michael J. Epstein, the Greasy Strangler, Michael St. Michaels, Ed Gwynn from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original film, and a lot of other cool people that I can't announce yet. Big thanks to all our guests tonight. Chuck and Karolina Morrongiello. The Killer Grannies, I'm looking forward to. Check out their other films on Tubi. Go and give Three Rats Entertainment a like on Facebook. Coming up next week, Friday the 13th, will be the start of Amazing Fantasy Film Festival. Lots of cool stuff going on there. A lot of former guests on the show, future guests on the show have new stuff playing. But you will also see the premiere of Jane and the Brain by Hope Muehlbauer, who is just on, and the premiere of Agency, a short film, and the premiere of the feature film Slasher Days of Summer, directed by Kristen Skeet, who is just on. Co-written by Ty Chayman, who has been on many times. So go and do that. I love Greg. He's a good guy. Yeah, No, he's a good guy. I'm just kidding. So go if you're in the Buffalo area. Amazing Fantasy Film Fest. People know. I know. I'm not just saying this. Buffalo Dream's always one of my favorite film festivals. I've been to quote unquote big film festivals, and they're fun. Don't get me wrong, but I've said this. I say this all the time on the show. I prefer a festival, one screen with a community feel, where you could tell it's people that come, almost every year. They know each other. They've seen each other's stuff, and there's a community feel. And to me, that is a much better film festival. And Buffalo Dreams Fantastic Film Festival always encompass that. And I'm sure Amazing Fantasy Fest will as well. Welcome back, Terrible Troy.
Thank you. Sorry, I missed the end with them.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Yeah, thank you guys. Chris Roberts. Take care. Thank you, Bubba. So, yeah. You mind if we head on out?
Nope, that sounds good, Chief.
All right, I'm gonna get back to writing.
Get you back on the old typewriter.
It's all done. I'm just I've made a couple. I made the tree a bigger part of the movie, and maybe I've gone down some weird routes with them. But I think it's gonna be great stuff.
Okay.
Arbor Day. It's not like mental case stuff, but it'll be good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so Monday will be the day we launch this, I believe. So
nice.
We'll have all the videos tomorrow, and I'll edit over the weekend, and then we will launch a campaign on Monday.
Okay, sounds good, Chief.
All right.
We'll
There's
make
a lot
it
of
happen.
cool, fun perks. We thanked all the guests. We're going to head on out. We don't have the music of the month this month because I'm not sure if we'll have a full month of shows. We probably will end up having a full month of shows. I always say that. But I was going to try to do some stuff for Arbor Day because we're in pre-production. But either way, it'll be fun. Next week, Troy, here on the show.
Next week
will be the Psycho Ape 2 show.
Oh.
So one of the movies I produced, Psycho Ape 2, it's out there now. You can rent it. You can buy the Blu-ray. So next week here on the show, we will have the filmmakers, Greg Delicio, Addison Benek, the stars, Kansas Bowling, and Bill Whedon.
Nice.
And possibly Floyd, the Psycho Ape himself, if he is free, or he might be locked up. So that'll be a good time.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. And we will also have the director of They Call Her Death, which is a horror Western, which looks awesome.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
That'll be premiering at Amazing Fantasy Film Fest. So the night before the event, we will also have so that'll be good. Cool.
Before the festivities begin.
Yeah. So to play us out, we do have the Tomb of Nick Cage, who we're gonna play sometimes I just play the the 20 about a minute of the theme song, but to play us out this month, we're gonna play out the whole theme song for those of you who have not heard it. Here we go with the Tomb of Nick Cage. And until next week, this is Nasty Neil.
That would make me Terrible Troy.
And this is without
your
head. This is for you, Coast. Don't you ever think that I'm not thinking of you. I'm not reading the chat, and this one is for you. All right. This is for Coast and for all the good people out there. Here we go.
I am so invested in finding this creature that I have written a rap about it.
Who's the ape that broke out of the zoo? Dr. Zoomer's watching everything he do. Hey, yo, that's Psycho Ape. Who's the primate that'll murder your crew? Take your head and stab a banana right through. Hey, yo, that's Psycho Ape. And who's the chick that was all on his dick on some straight up bestiality shit? Nancy Banana. And who's that wannabe Jane Goodall? Wife to buy an ape, not appalled at all. Nancy Banana. And who's that doctor that just won't die? Always close by like a private eye. Dr. Zoomer's. Who's the male psycho ape in the can? Dressed up like he's on safari in Pakistan. It's always asshole news, no matter what channel's on. I feel for the guy who died after being violently shat upon. Psycho ape, turn the body count up till the break of dawn. Dr. Zoomer's was so obsessed that he wrote this song. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. He broke out of prison just to see your fate. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. Nancy gonna cheer him on while he eats your face. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. Dr. Zoomer stay hating, trying to crack the case. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. Shot him like Harambe, climbing the Empire State. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. He broke out of prison just to see your fate. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. Nancy gonna cheer him on while he eats your face. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. Dr. Zoomer stay hating, trying to crack the case. Go crazy, go bananas, go psycho ape. Shot him like Harambe, climbing the Empire State.
Bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty.
There you go, Coast. And here's another little special if Coast is still watching, or Vic Schiavone here. I don't know if I don't think I ever played this on the show, but here it is, the trailer for Psycho Ape 2, a Without Your Head production. That's I helped produce that. And here we go, Psycho Ape 2. It's available now on Blu-ray for rent. And so is Once and Future Smash and End Zone 2. I just saw the Blu-rays. They look really sweet. So you can go and pre-order them. They're chock full of specials. But here we go. Psycho Ape 2, the official trailer. And we will have the cast and crew of Psycho Ape 2 here live next week on Without Your Head.
Oh my God, we're such a happy
so
couple.
Happy.
Just like the best possible.
Yeah. Did you bring the bananas?
Yeah, you want to crack one open?
Oh yeah.
Let's enjoy a banana together.
That sounds like a great idea.
June 7th, we're here in the park, and we couldn't be more safe and happy.
I couldn't agree more. It is 2:16 p.m. on June 7th, and there's no possible chance that we're about to be murdered.
Nope.
Oh my God, no! We can be polyamorous!
Gavel! Gavel! Gavel.
So you're saying that it's true that the Psycho Ape did in fact kill you?
We were murdered by the Psycho Ape.
We're here today in Hollywood! Can you say hi to my followers? Think about
Of course.
Nancy, I am your father.
Whoa!
And your brother and your sister.
Whoa!
And we've been sleeping in the same bed for many, many years.
Oh, that's so gross.
It's all right.
Oh, okay.
I want you to draw me like one of your French gorillas. Wearing this. Only this.
Psycho Ape. It's okay. In no time, all three of us are gonna be loving each other.
Wow! All right. Well, that was Psycho Ape 2. All right. Next week, join us here. We're going to talk all about the making of Psycho Ape 2. I was there for almost all of it. And I'm scarred for life because of it. Psycho Ape 2 next week. Thanks, everyone who's on tonight. Let's go over them one more time. I know we went over them begin with, but now I've been lollygagging for a while. Killer Grannies creators Chuck and Karolina Morrongiello, and also Hope Muehlbauer, I am so terrible. Hope Muehlbauer, who is the director of Jane and the Brain, an assistant director on Slasher Days of Summer, and assistant director on the upcoming Frenzy Moon. Kristen Skeet, director of Slasher Days of Summer and Agency, Slasher Days of Summer, feature film, Agency short film, Jane and the Brain, a short film. All three will be premiering at Amazing Fantasy Film Fest starting September 13th over in Buffalo. So if you're in that area, if you're in Buffalo, if you're around, you can get there. It's going to be a week. You can go for a weekend. You can go for a couple days. You go for the whole week if you can handle it. I recommend it. So go and do it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Greg Lamberson for running the film festival. He sponsored the last Severed Limbs. We will not have a Severed Limbs in October because we're going to be doing Arbor Day, but we're going to bring it back for November for our first ever Thanksgiving themed Severed Limbs, which I like. Hell, there's endless stuff going on in October anyway because it's the Halloween spooky season. So why not have something cool going on in November? There's no horror going on in November, but now there will be. Severed Limbs returns in November. All right, guys. I've talked enough. I'm getting out of here. I'm sorry there was no In Your Head this week. Troy and I are going to try to do an In Your Head Saturday after AEW All Out. People don't know, In Your Head is my pro wrestling podcast, so you can go check that out if you like. We'll be back next week. Don't forget, hit this like button. Smash the like button, as they say. Hit that little icon, that little bell icon, not the internet icon. You'll get a notification every time we go live, every time there is a new episode or a new podcast, a new anything, a new trailer, whatever it is. So hit that icon. If you'd like to help support the show, you can join the new nation of decapitation. There's all these different tiers, and you will help support the program. You can always Venmo Headyverse. You could PayPal without your head. You could send me hard cash in the mail. Probably don't do that. However you would like to help support the show, I would really appreciate it. We'd all appreciate it because it does cost money to do this, but it does not cost money to hit the like button, to subscribe, to hit the bell icon, or to share this out. Share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, share it on your Instagram, share it on your LinkedIn, share it on your MySpace. For Coast out there, can share it to his grinder. Send it all out to the world. I'm getting out of here. Good night, everybody.